So the business challenge we had was the recruitment of graduates, and for a number of years the recruitment process was very slow, and also the quality of the candidates that we received was quite poor, and we found that we weren't retaining the graduates in the business, so we were investing a lot of money in them and training them to only lose them even before the end of the programme. So we approached Cute on that basis to say, well, how could we do the recruitment process differently and make sure that we got really, really good people that were right for the business, but also that would stay with the business. Cute came in to talk to me, and we looked at what ultimately would a graduate become. So in our business, we would want a graduate to do a 2-year programme and then be working towards a deputy manager position. So the first thing we did was identify some competencies. So what makes a really good deputy manager? And we did that through using some of our senior managers, and we got them to think about the best deputies in the business, and then we pulled out all of these core competencies. And David and the team in Cute then worked that up into a competency framework. So we had that then as our benchmark, that we knew that's what we wanted to assess candidates against. And what we then needed to do was develop the assessment centre that that is how we now recruit our graduates, and Cute really helped us to develop the end-to-end process for all of that, which has been fantastic. So the assessment centres are run, so we only do it once a year, so we advertise for the graduates and we do our normal kind of screening process, and we do video interviews so that we get a good sight of the candidate before they come to the assessment. And then the assessment day itself, we actually run 2 assessments in one day, so it's actually harder work for the assessors than it is for the candidates. We try to give them a really good understanding of the company and a very relaxed environment, but whilst measuring them. So the first thing we do is a group exercise, and it is based on very much a real life scenario. So if anybody remembers the ash cloud that happened, if you imagine the impact of the ash cloud on hotels in airports. So their challenge is to manage the fact that the ash cloud has happened, you've got all these customers wanting rooms, your system's gone down, and how do they problem solve that? And then after that they do an interview, so they have a face-to-face interview with one of the assessors. They do a problem-solving exercise, so we give them a challenge and they have to come up with as kind of, it's a presentation, but it's not a formal presentation. They have to work on the information and then present it back. So it's more of a conversation. And from all of that, then we're measuring all of the competencies twice, so we can really see whether or not that candidate is going to be a good fit for the business. We also use the shapes to get their values, to understand whether or not they're going to be a good cultural fit for us. So we've done that before the assessment centre, and then at a later stage we would also do the verbal and numerical reasoning as well. Cute designed the entire assessment centre, wrote the exercises and everything, and we have a number of different exercises as well, so we don't get bored using the same one all the time. And they also developed some supplementary exercises which we use for our internal deputy managers to assess their talent for development up to general manager level. So we run that a couple of times a year. Every deputy manager is invited to attend. They don't have to. I've only ever had one person not attend in the 3 years we've been doing it. And the extra exercise in that is a piece of very detailed analysis. So they're given a problem which is about 3 hotels that are up for sale. Which one would you sell? And there's lots of data and analytical information that they have to do, and Cute wrote that exercise as well, and it's been very interesting because everybody in the company who's been through it has an opinion of which hotel should be sold, but it's not true. So yeah, it's a very, very good exercise. The biggest measurable outcome from all of this has absolutely been retention. So when I first joined 5 years ago, I met 16 graduates who were 16 individual personalities. There was no commonality between them at all. They'd been recruited by 16 different general managers, and none of those people is still with the business. And then I look at the graduate recruitment we've done since then, so probably 3 years worth of graduate recruitment, and the retention of those people would be between 60 and 70%. So it's definitely improved, and what we've also seen, which I'm really pleased with, is the last intake. So I think we've got better at the process. The last intake, 3 of the 12 that we took on, 3 or 4 maybe, are actually in deputy manager positions. So they've not just achieved the graduate programme, they've actually been promoted to the next level, which was always the aim. So yeah, fantastic.